Hi, my name is Victor and you're with Revit Experiments. Some time ago I made this video, Revit Tips and Tricks 2. It's actually apart from my free tips and tricks book for Revit. And here I'm showing several different ways to create a curved, sloped wall. And there are pros and cons. And this is for Revit versions up to 2020. But now we have Revit 2021, and one of the new features is slanted wall. So I decided let's give you a quick update on that video. If you haven't seen that video, please go and check it out. It's I think it's good. Anyway, let's go straight into Revit. And you can see here I have these two slanted walls. And they're not face-based or anything, they just have this cross-section slanted parameter here and an angle. So here I can change it from vertical to slanted. And of course it's losing its values after I change it back to slanted, but I know it was 15 degrees. And I change it back like this. The reason it's cut like this is that those two walls are attached to that reference plane. So if I move it up or down, they will continue attaching to it. Oops. Anyway. So, if of course I type here negative 15 degrees, sorry, my mouse was just moving too much. If I type in negative 15, it's gonna go in the other way. Let's try that for the curved wall as well. Negative 15, and it attaches nicely here. And if I go to the level, I can see that I have all the layers of that wall here, and everything is working fine. And of course we can also use all the techniques that I showed you in the previous video. I'm not going to repeat myself, just go and see it. But it's nice to have this opportunity here, to have these slanted walls. An interesting thing is, like now if I press CS on my keyboard or create similar, like this, I'm going to create the same type of wall, but it's going to be vertical by default. And this is a pretty understandable thing. I mean, usually you just want a vertical wall, but you can also tell it to be a slanted wall. And if I type in 15 degrees here, it's going to go the other way by default, but I can sweep and it's still the other way, which is really interesting. Even if I press the space or that parameter, the direction of the inclination is always going to be in the direction the wall is drawn. I mean, if I create similar now and I set it to slanted and 15 degrees, bear with me, if I draw in from bottom to top, it's going to be in that direction. And if I draw from top to bottom, it's going to be in the other direction. Like this. And you cannot change this with the spacebar. You have to go here and set it back to -15. And now we can... What we do change with the spacebar though is which is the interior and exterior part of the wall. There is this mismatch though with the pattern here and here. It looks different for some reason. So here it's slightly gray and here it is completely black. So I don't know why this is happening yet. I've only been using Revit 21 for a few days now, So anyway, this is what we can expect from its behavior. And of course, we can still use our techniques. Let me quickly show you one of them. Like if we want this thing to be curved on top, first, as I've shown you here, we can attach the wall to a reference plane or to a roof, and our roof can be actually curved or whatever. But the other thing that we can do is we can always go and create a component in place, just a generic model like this, and I can simply make an extrusion. We need to pick a plane, and I'm going to choose just the plane of the wall itself, and then I can just draw some ugly spline here like this and close it like that to make my extrusion. Switch to 3D view, and I'm going to extend that. And since we are on this surface here on this reference plane, that's why we have that thing slanted. I can now make it void, and I can cut the walls with it while I'm still in the family. So I can go here, select the void and that wall, select it again and the other wall, select the void and that wall, and say finish model. And you would actually want to do this if you want to edit the profile of this wall. Why? Well, because you cannot really edit the profile here as usual because the wall is slanted. We can only do that to vertical walls. If the wall is vertical, then we can edit its profile, which is really interesting since, as you can see, the joint is up here. What would happen if we edit the profile here in a way? Let's first try to just edit it on the other side. Works fine. But if we change the profile here, like let's just make a minor change like this and trim those lines here. It does a surprisingly good job keeping that wall joint here. And again, let's see what happens now if we change this to slanted. A wall with an edited profile must have a vertical cross section. So basically we cannot change it to slanted until we go here and reset the profile. I don't know if you find that annoying or not, it's just the way it is currently. So let's see how do we deal with inserts in these walls now. And if we place a window here, it's going to be vertical by default. Let's put the door as well. But we can actually select the family now, and here in the orientation we can select slanted, so it's going to make it align with the incline of that wall. And it's actually doing a good job here with the curvature of the wall. What would happen if we select a thinner wall here? It's worthy of seeing that. Still looks good. I mean, of course, the family is not made to follow that shape, and that's another topic on itself, but still, that's doing a good job, in my opinion. And we can do the same for these windows. We can just make them slanted. And this is pretty much the same as if we use face-based windows instead of wall-based. Let me actually check something else. Can we select all of them and change them to slanted? Okay. Yeah. Looks kind of interesting. So let's go and check the wall sweeps and reviews. They seem to be working nicely as well. Okay, good. They're here. Let's try a review as well. Okay, seems to be working just fine. So that's it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, please go ahead and hit the like button. If you didn't, you can hit the other one as well, your choice. Also, tell me in the comments what do you think of this video. I think some of the things were not covered in other videos so far. And yeah, you can also go and check my website. By the time you check it, it's going to be with my new redesigned version of it. And yeah, it should be nicer than it currently is. So that's it for today. I wish you a nice evening and see you soon.